We all walk through life building relationships, creating bonds, and placing our trust in the people we hold dear. But what happens when someone close to us isn't who we thought they were? What happens when their words don't match their actions and their presence begins to feel like a storm cloud rather than sunshine? Sometimes life has a way of exposing truths we might not be ready to see, but when that happens, it's not a coincidence, it's divine intervention. Tonight, I want to share with you 7 signs that God might be exposing the narcissist in your life. Recognizing toxic patterns in relationships is an essential step in understanding when someone may be having a negative impact on your life. Toxic patterns are often subtle at first, disguised under layers of charm, charisma, or even genuine moments of connection. These behaviors, however, tend to repeat themselves over time, creating cycles of discomfort, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. Recognizing these patterns requires you to step back and observe not just what the other person is doing, but how their actions make you feel and how they impact your well-being. Toxic patterns often reveal themselves through inconsistency. For example, the person may say one thing but do another, leaving you in a state of constant guessing about their true intentions. This inconsistency can manifest in broken promises, where they might frequently commit to something but fail to follow through. Initially, you may brush off these incidents, thinking they're isolated occurrences. However, over time you start noticing a pattern, a string of disappointments that begins to weigh on you emotionally. Another sign of toxic behavior is the manipulation of your emotions. This can take many forms, from guilt-tripping to gaslighting. They might twist situations to make you question your own perceptions, making you feel as though you're overreacting or imagining things. In reality, this tactic is often used to deflect responsibility and maintain control over the dynamic. For instance, you may confront them about something they did that hurt you, only for them to turn the conversation around, making you feel like the problem. Over time, this erodes your confidence in your judgment and creates a cycle where their needs and perspectives dominate the relationship. Criticism is another red flag that often appears as part of toxic patterns. This doesn't refer to constructive feedback, but rather a persistent undermining of your worth. It might come in the form of backhanded compliments or subtle digs at your appearance, abilities, or decisions. Over time, these comments can chip away at your self-esteem, making you more reliant on their approval. Even as they continue to belittle you, you may find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid their criticism or seeking their validation. Control is a hallmark of toxic relationships and often emerges as a recurring theme. This can be overt, like dictating how you spend your time or who you interact with, or more covert, such as constantly needing to know where you are or what you're doing. What's particularly dangerous about this behavior is how it can initially appear caring or concerned. For example, they might insist on knowing your whereabouts under the guise of wanting to keep you safe. However, over time it becomes clear that the underlying intent is to limit your freedom and assert dominance over your choices. Emotional unavailability is another key indicator. Someone who is emotionally unavailable may fail to provide the support and empathy you need in moments of vulnerability. They might dismiss your feelings or make you feel guilty for expressing them. This lack of emotional reciprocity can create a dynamic where you're always giving while they're always taking, leaving you drained and unfulfilled. Over time, you might notice that your emotional needs are consistently being neglected, even as you go out of your way to meet theirs. Patterns of toxicity are also evident in how conflicts are handled. Instead of resolving disagreements constructively, the person might resort to stonewalling, yelling, or using passive-aggressive tactics. They might refuse to engage in meaningful dialogue, shutting down conversations before they can lead to resolution. Alternatively, they might escalate minor issues into major arguments, creating unnecessary tension and drama. This cyclical approach to conflict keeps you in a state of instability, unsure of when the next emotional blow-up might occur. Recognizing these toxic patterns requires both self-awareness and courage. It's about identifying the behaviors that consistently disrupt your peace and happiness and acknowledging their cumulative impact on your life. Patterns don't lie, they reveal the truth of a person's character over time. While it's natural to hope for the best and give people the benefit of the doubt, it's equally important to trust your instincts and pay attention to how you feel. Repeated feelings of exhaustion, anxiety, or frustration in someone's presence are signals that something isn't right. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward regaining control over your emotional health and well-being. Divine timing is the belief that events unfold in our lives according to a higher plan, aligned perfectly with what we need and when we're ready to receive it. It often feels as though the universe, or a higher power, is orchestrating the sequence of events in a way that is beyond our control or understanding. This concept can be challenging to accept, especially when we are eager for answers or resolutions. However, divine timing teaches us that patience and trust are necessary components of growth and transformation. At its core, divine timing is about alignment. It ensures that the right opportunities, revelations, and connections come into your life at the moment when you are most capable of embracing and benefiting from them. It's not about coincidence or random chance. It's about purposeful timing. For instance, there may be times when you desperately seek clarity or resolution in a difficult relationship, but answers seem elusive. This isn't because they don't exist, it's because you may not yet be in the right emotional, mental, or spiritual state to process the truth fully. Divine timing waits until you are prepared to handle what you need to see. We are so consumed by our own timelines and expectations that we forget life operates on a broader, more intricate schedule. This disconnect can lead to frustration and impatience, especially when we feel stuck or unable to move forward. For example, you might wonder why a certain relationship hasn't improved despite your efforts, or why someone's true intentions remain hidden. Divine timing reminds us that clarity comes not when we demand it, but when we are ready to receive it with open hearts and minds. It's a process that unfolds at the intersection of our readiness and the universe's wisdom. One of the most profound aspects of divine timing is how it protects us, even when it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes delays or obstacles are actually blessings in disguise, preventing us from making choices or entering situations that aren't aligned with our highest good. You might look back on moments when you felt disappointed or heartbroken because something didn't work out, only to later realize it was the best thing that could have happened. This is divine timing at work, guiding you away from harm and toward a path that better serves your growth and purpose. Another key element of divine timing is the role of lessons. Before we can truly move forward, we often need to learn something vital about ourselves, our patterns, or our surroundings. These lessons can take time to reveal themselves, as they often require introspection and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. In the context of relationships, divine timing might mean enduring certain challenges until you recognize the recurring patterns or behaviors that no longer serve you. Once you've gained this understanding, the timing aligns and you're able to make empowered decisions. Divine timing also emphasizes the importance of trust. Trusting the process doesn't mean passively waiting for life to happen to you. It means actively participating in your journey while believing that things will fall into place at the right time. It's about finding balance, knowing when to take action and when to surrender. This trust is especially important during moments of uncertainty, where the temptation to force outcomes or rush the process can be strong. Learning to trust in divine timing is an exercise in faith, patience, and resilience, teaching us to let go of the illusion of control. Synchronicities are often a hallmark of divine timing. These are moments where seemingly unrelated events align in a way that feels meaningful and significant. For example, you might stumble upon a conversation, book, or opportunity that speaks directly to a question or concern you've been wrestling with. These moments are not random. They are signs that the timing is right for you to receive the insight or guidance you need. Paying attention to these synchronicities can deepen your trust in the process, reminding you that you are being guided even when the path isn't immediately clear. Divine timing is not just about external events, it's also about internal readiness. There's a reason why certain revelations or opportunities don't come sooner. They require you to grow, heal, or evolve in specific ways before you're truly ready to embrace them. For instance, in the case of exposing toxic people or relationships, the timing may align with your ability to recognize and set boundaries. Before this moment, you might not have had the confidence or clarity to take the necessary steps. Divine timing ensures that when the truth is revealed, you are strong enough to act on it. The beauty of divine timing is that it encourages us to live in the present moment. Instead of constantly worrying about the future or regretting the past, it asks us to focus on what is unfolding right now. Each moment serves a purpose, whether it's to teach, challenge, or prepare us. By embracing the present, we align ourselves with the flow of life and open ourselves up to the blessings and opportunities that divine timing brings. In this way, we learn to see the delays and detours not as obstacles, but as essential parts of our journey. Signs of exposure refer to the moments when the truth about a person or situation begins to reveal itself, often in ways that are undeniable and impossible to ignore. These signs can manifest subtly at first, like faint cracks in a seemingly perfect facade, and then grow more apparent as time goes on. Recognizing these signs is critical, as they often provide clarity and insight into dynamics that may have been hidden or obscured by manipulation, charm, or your own hope for the best. One of the first signs of exposure is inconsistency. A person's words and actions no longer align in the way they once seemed to. You may notice promises that go unfulfilled, stories that don't quite add up, or behaviors that contradict the image they have tried to project. For example, someone who claims to care deeply about you might repeatedly act in ways that disregard your feelings or well-being. These inconsistencies often create moments of confusion or discomfort, as they force you to question the authenticity of the relationship or situation. Another common sign is an increase in defensiveness or hostility when confronted. People who are being exposed often react strongly to any challenge to their narrative or behavior. Instead of addressing your concerns or acknowledging their actions, they may deflect, lash out, or attempt to shift the blame onto you. This defensiveness can be a clear indicator that they are aware of the cracks in their facade and are working to protect themselves from being fully revealed. Patterns of deceit often emerge as another key sign. You might begin to uncover lies or half-truths that paint a clearer picture of their true character. For instance, you could discover that their explanations for certain situations don't hold up under scrutiny, or you might find evidence that contradicts what they've told you. These moments of discovery can be deeply unsettling, but are also pivotal in helping you see the reality of the relationship or dynamic. Manipulative tactics often become more apparent as well. A person who is being exposed might attempt to maintain control by gaslighting, guilt-tripping, or employing other methods of emotional manipulation. Gaslighting, in particular, is a powerful tool used to make you doubt your perceptions and feelings. They may tell you that you're imagining things, overreacting, or misinterpreting their intentions, all in an effort to cloud your judgment and maintain their influence. Recognizing these tactics is crucial, as they often signal a deeper attempt to conceal their true motives or behavior. Another sign of exposure is the sudden appearance of cracks in their public image. People who are narcissistic or manipulative often work hard to maintain a carefully crafted persona, especially in social or professional settings. However, as the truth begins to emerge, you might notice others questioning their actions or witnessing moments where their true nature slips through. These instances can serve as confirmation that you're not alone in noticing the inconsistencies and red flags. In some cases, divine intervention plays a role in the exposure. This might come in the form of unexpected revelations or situations that force the truth to the surface. For instance, you might stumble upon a piece of information, overhear a conversation, or have a moment of clarity that sheds light on the reality of the situation. These moments often feel serendipitous, as though the universe or a higher power is guiding you toward the truth you need to see. A noticeable change in your own feelings and reactions can also be a sign of exposure. As the truth comes to light, you may start to feel a growing sense of unease or discomfort around the person. What once felt natural and enjoyable may now feel tense or draining. This shift in your emotional state is your intuition responding to the reality of the situation, urging you to pay attention to what is being revealed. External validation can play a significant role in exposing someone's true nature. You might find that others start to share similar experiences or observations, confirming the things you've noticed. This collective acknowledgement can be incredibly validating, as it reinforces your own perceptions and helps you feel less isolated in recognizing the truth. These signs of exposure, while often difficult to confront, serve a vital purpose. They illuminate the dynamics that may have been hidden, allowing you to see things as they truly are, rather than how you wish them to be. They give you the clarity and understanding needed to make informed decisions about how to move forward, whether that means setting boundaries, seeking support, or removing yourself from a toxic situation entirely. Recognizing these signs is not just about seeing the truth, it's about reclaiming your power and choosing a path that aligns with your well-being and authenticity. Inner strength and growth are transformative processes that emerge when we are faced with challenges, adversity, or moments of clarity about ourselves and the people around us. These experiences often begin in situations that test our emotional resilience and force us to confront truths we may have avoided or been unable to see. Though difficult, this journey is essential for personal evolution, as it allows us to rediscover our core values, tap into our innate power, and emerge stronger and more self-assured. Inner strength is not something that appears out of nowhere. It is built over time, often through struggle and perseverance. When we are exposed to difficult circumstances, such as toxic relationships or periods of uncertainty, we are placed in situations that push us beyond our comfort zones. Initially, this can feel overwhelming, as though the weight of the situation is too heavy to bear. However, it is in these moments of discomfort that we begin to uncover our capacity to endure, adapt, and rise above. Each challenge becomes a stepping stone, teaching us lessons about ourselves and the world that ultimately fortify our inner resolve. A key aspect of inner strength is self-awareness. Growth begins when we take the time to reflect on our experiences and recognize the patterns, emotions, and triggers that shape our responses. This self-awareness allows us to identify areas where we may have compromised our boundaries or ignored our intuition. For example, in the context of a toxic relationship, inner strength might start to build the moment we acknowledge that we've been tolerating behavior that doesn't align with our values or well-being. This realization is a powerful turning point, as it marks the beginning of reclaiming control over our lives and choices. As we become more self-aware, we also learn to cultivate self-compassion. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. Along the journey, it's common to feel guilt or regret for past decisions or for not recognizing red flags sooner. However, inner strength involves forgiving ourselves for these perceived mistakes and understanding that every experience, good or bad, plays a role in shaping who we are. By extending kindness to ourselves, we create a foundation of self-love that supports our growth and resilience. Another important component of inner strength is learning to set and enforce boundaries. Growth often requires us to reassess the dynamics in our relationships and determine what we will and will not accept moving forward. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of the journey, as it may involve difficult conversations, distancing ourselves from certain people, or letting go of relationships that no longer serve us. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, and it signals to both ourselves and others that our emotional well-being is a priority. Growth also brings with it a shift in perspective. As we navigate challenges and uncover our inner strength, we begin to see setbacks not as failures but as opportunities for learning and transformation. For example, realizing that someone close to us is not who they appear to be can initially feel devastating. However, over time, this realization can serve as a catalyst for personal growth, helping us to become more discerning and intentional in our relationships. This shift in perspective allows us to approach future challenges with greater confidence and resilience, knowing that we have the strength to overcome them. One of the most profound outcomes of inner strength and growth is the sense of empowerment it brings. When we recognize our ability to navigate difficult situations and come out stronger, we begin to trust ourselves more deeply. This self-trust is incredibly liberating as it frees us from the need for external validation and allows us to make decisions that align with our true selves. Empowerment also gives us the courage to pursue our goals and dreams, even in the face of uncertainty or doubt. As we grow, we also become more connected to our purpose and values. Adversity has a way of stripping away superficial concerns and revealing what truly matters. Through this process, we gain clarity about who we are and what we stand for. This sense of purpose becomes a guiding light, helping us to make choices that are aligned with our authentic selves and to build a life that reflects our values. Inner strength and growth are deeply personal journeys, but they also have a ripple effect on the people around us. When we embrace our strength and grow into our fullest potential, we inspire others to do the same. Our confidence, resilience, and authenticity become a source of encouragement for those who may be navigating their own challenges. In this way, our personal growth not only transforms our own lives, but also contributes to the well-being of those we care about. This journey of inner strength and growth is not linear. It is marked by ups and downs, moments of clarity and periods of doubt. However, with each step forward, we become more resilient, more self-aware, and more aligned with the person we are meant to be. It is through this process that we discover the power within us and learn to create a life that reflects our strength, values, and authenticity. Moving towards healing is a profound and transformative journey, often born out of the pain and challenges we face in life. It is not an overnight process, nor is it linear. Healing requires patience, commitment, and a willingness to confront difficult emotions and experiences head-on. While the path can be challenging, it is ultimately rewarding as it allows us to reclaim our sense of self, restore our emotional balance, and move forward with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. The first step in moving towards healing is acknowledging the pain. Often we try to suppress or ignore our emotions, believing that by doing so we can move on more quickly. However, true healing begins with acceptance. This involves recognizing what has happened, how it has affected us, and giving ourselves permission to feel the full range of emotions that come with it. Whether it's anger, sadness, confusion, or grief, these emotions are valid and deserve to be felt. By confronting them, we begin to release the weight they carry and create space for growth. Another essential aspect of healing is self-compassion. It's easy to fall into patterns of self-blame or harsh criticism, especially when reflecting on past decisions or circumstances that contributed to the pain. However, self-compassion reminds us that we are human and that mistakes and hardships are a natural part of life. Being kind to ourselves during this process is not a sign of weakness, but rather a vital step towards recovery. It allows us to approach our healing journey with grace and understanding rather than judgment or resentment. Healing also requires us to examine and challenge the narratives we've internalized about ourselves and our experiences. For instance, if someone has been in a toxic relationship, they might carry beliefs about their worth, capabilities, or deservingness of love that were shaped by the negativity of that relationship. Moving towards healing involves recognizing these limiting beliefs and replacing them with healthier, more empowering ones. This process may involve reflecting on the truth of who we are, independent of the opinions or actions of others, and affirming our intrinsic value. Another critical component of healing is setting boundaries. This involves identifying the people, behaviors, or situations that have contributed to our pain and deciding how to protect ourselves moving forward. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about creating a safe space where we can heal and grow without unnecessary interference or harm. Setting boundaries can be challenging, particularly if we're used to prioritizing others' needs over our own. However, learning to say no, establish limits, and prioritize our well-being is an act of self-respect that is essential for lasting healing. Seeking support is also a vital part of the healing process. While the journey is deeply personal, it doesn't have to be taken alone. Friends, family, therapists, or support groups can provide a sense of connection, understanding, and encouragement as we navigate our path to recovery. Sharing our experiences with trusted individuals not only helps us feel less isolated, but also provides new perspectives and insights that can aid in our healing. Professional support in particular can be invaluable, offering tools and techniques to process emotions, build resilience, and move forward in a healthy and constructive way. Moving towards healing often involves finding healthy outlets for our emotions and energy. This might include activities like journaling, art, exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. These practices not only help us process our emotions, but also provide a sense of release and renewal. They remind us of the joy and peace that still exist in the world, even amid difficulty. Finding what resonates most with us and incorporating it into our routine can create a sense of stability and hope as we work towards healing. Forgiveness is another key aspect of the healing process, though it's often misunderstood. Forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of those who have hurt us or minimizing our pain. Instead, it's about freeing ourselves from the hold that anger, resentment, or bitterness can have on us. It's a way of reclaiming our power and choosing peace over prolonged suffering. Forgiveness can be directed outward toward others or inward toward ourselves, and it's a deeply personal decision that unfolds in its own time. As we move towards healing, we also learn the importance of focusing on the present. Pain often anchors us in the past, replaying old wounds or regrets. Healing, however, invites us to let go of what we cannot change and to direct our energy toward the here and now. Mindfulness practices such as deep breathing, meditation, or simply paying attention to the present moment can help us cultivate this awareness. By grounding ourselves in the present, we begin to see opportunities for growth, joy, and connection that were once overshadowed by pain. Healing is about rediscovering our inner strength and resilience. It's about recognizing that while we may have been hurt, we are not defined by our pain. Each step we take, no matter how small, is a testament to our courage and our commitment to ourselves. The journey may not always be easy, but it is a journey worth taking, as it leads us to a place of greater self-awareness, peace, and fulfillment. Through healing, we not only repair what has been broken, but also build something stronger and more beautiful in its place.